Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Shame! 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 Shame!
I'd like to thank Rebel News again for helping us out.
For giving us strength.
We actually started protesting 6 weeks ago now. We're still not sick. Nobody around us is sick. Literally, there's nobody I know that's sick. When we did actually start protesting at that point, we were actually allowed to be opened.
After receiving your 2 tickets against opening during the lockdowns, we've been up to quite a bit, actually. We officially lost our Valkyrie store 100%. So we had to let it go, and we had to move all of our stuff, all of our items and our extra products and displays, our fridges, everything into a storage bin. So now instead of making profit from that store, we've actually had to just have our stuff in storage instead, right?
Oh, hey guys, sorry for interrupting your video. I'm sure you've heard by now YouTube is coming to kill us. It could be at any moment, and it could be because of the video that you're watching right now. Really, they'll use any excuse to get rid of us. And when that inevitably does happen, we want to be able to stay in touch with you. Please go right now to RebelNews.com, sign up there, leave us a little bit of your information so that when YouTube does deplatform us altogether, we can tell you where we've gone and what happened to us. That's RebelNews.com. Thanks, and back to your regular video. Today I'm bringing you an update to the Fight the Fine story of Mr. Green's Novelties. Now, Mr. Green's Novelties is a small cannabis accessories retailer in Sudbury, Ontario. And the owners of the shop, Daphne and Shawn Donaldson, have been doing their very best to just survive the never-ending Ontario lockdown. They tried curbside pickup, but it really just doesn't work for them when they work in a brand new industry where people need to talk to them in person because they've got a lot of questions. And so Daphne and Shawn received lockdown tickets for their efforts to give good in-person customer service. I knew I had to help them. We quickly got them into the Fight the Fines pipeline. Fight the Fines is Rebel News' largest civil liberties project, ever, where we help people and businesses just like Daphne and Shawn hammered with lockdown or curfew or mask tickets at no cost to them. And then those really great lawyers we've hired from all across the country fight the lockdown tickets in court. Well, since we first met Daphne and Shawn way back in January, they've not gotten better. They've gotten much worse. More tickets and even more lockdowns in Ontario. So I thought I'd bring them back to give us a bit of an update on their situation. Take a listen.
I'd like to thank Rebel News again for helping us out.
For giving us strength. They will help you. And if any of these fines ever do need to be paid, which we know they won't because so many of them have already been thrown out, they will crowdfund for you. Be strong. You can be here with us. Do not let them scare you.
Well, since we last spoke in January, after receiving your 2 tickets against opening during the lockdowns, we've been up to quite a bit, actually. We officially lost our Valkyrie store 100%. So we had to let it go, and we had to move all of our stuff, all of our items and our extra products and displays, our fridges, everything into a storage bin. So now instead of making profit from that store, we've actually had to just have our stuff in storage instead, right? And also, since then, we've also had a 420 event. We've had 2 extra tickets as well. I received another ticket. Daphne's received another ticket as well on our 420 event just past April that morning. And so it's gotten to the point where the cops are really starting to push their limits here in Sudbury. We've been followed quite a bit. Every time I get stopped, whether it's not even like 10 to 15, going 10 to 15 kilometers over in a zone, I get stopped by 2 police officers, 2 cruisers instead of just 1. And the day of 420, they actually had it planned out. So they knew that night before, because they watched us at our store, they knew that we were leaving 1 vehicle. They knew that we'd be home, who would be driving that morning, who was going to be alone at the store. So they literally bullied and ended up coming into the store in town, and they gave Daphne a ticket then. They also told her that by us staying open, this is a whole new level of ticketing, right? So by us staying opening every day as of last Tuesday, so Wednesday till today, we're getting fined $5,000 per day now.
Well, they haven't given them yet.
They haven't given our tickets, but we were warned that every day that we now stay open following after the 20th, we will be fined $5,000 a day. So I think it's getting pretty ridiculous how much they've been bullying us and what they pushed and how far they're pushing us just to try to survive. Like we got to keep fighting. We got to keep at this. Other than that, we will lose this business too. So, and the support we've gotten from everybody, and we got like thank Rebel because they're awesome. We really look up to you guys. We've been watching everything you guys do for everybody, and we've been following with a lot of the protests going throughout Canada as well. So.
I did see that you guys sent us those 2 additional tickets that you received, and we're going to help you fight those in court through fightthefines.com at no cost to you. You guys obviously have your hands full, apparently being Sudbury's most wanted.
Yeah, that's basically what it seems like. So now one of the things we also want to mention, so we actually started protesting 6 weeks ago now.
Guys, we are here fighting for our freedoms, all of our freedoms and rights. Our children,
unlawful.
Our elderly, all of us. We deserve to have a free life.
If you're in any groups, any Patriots groups, any revolution groups, share them up.
Yeah,
we want this to go viral. Please. This is getting ridiculous. Now we're going to go into the brunt of where the officers
are ticketing.
Shame! Shame!
Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame!
I'd like to thank Rebel News again for helping us out.
For giving us strength. They will help you. And if any of these fines ever do need to be paid, which we know they won't because so many of them have already been thrown out, they will crowdfund for you. Be strong. You can be here with us. Do not let them scare you.
We're still not sick. Nobody around us is sick. Literally, there's nobody I know that's sick. And when we did actually start protesting at that point, we were actually allowed to be opened. But we decided to go on and protest, not just, because there's a lot of other small businesses actually. And one of the ones that has opened up in Sudbury is actually Sheer Magic out in Hanmer, which you're representing as well. So those are places that are still, even to this day, not allowed to be open. And that's one of the main reasons why we're still protesting, because everybody is essential. Also, when it comes to our kids, the schooling, I'm tired of my children. Like my kids are depressed. My son is not happy. He's got ADHD, and being at school, having to wear the mask, sitting down in one spot all day, every day is not healthy. Yeah, it's, to me, I feel like it's the long-term effects. It's probably going to be detrimental. We don't even know how our children, what's going to happen to them in the future from everything that's happened. And again, with the police, harassing us, our daughter recently was,
they were at our house this morning.
Yeah, they were
watching us this morning before we left to come to work.
But
so
it's
another day.
So our daughter was actually playing at the church. So we live 3 doors down from a church. She was with one girlfriend. They were skateboarding. The cops pulled into the driveway, started honking at them, and while they were running home, they followed them home.
Knowing exactly where they were running to, also.
And that's basically one of the things that we've noticed a lot. It's the harassment from the police, from the bylaw, and also now more so, we do have a lot of people that appreciate what we're doing. We have people come in here all the time. They're like, thank you. We need more.
We did an amazing food drive recently as well. Yes. On 420. So just to come back on our 420 event, when Daphne got those tickets, when they told us we were going to get fined $5,000 a day, previous to that, there was dozens and dozens of fines given out that Saturday right here in Sudbury, where me and Daphne actually did a little video in support of Rebel News, trying to report the truth. That's so right. We kind of went out there and, tried to do our own little, help the community in our own way and help. Yeah. And our video's gone viral somewhat. We got 75 to 80,000 views on it now. And we're going to keep pushing with that. And that day, just to prove that when they came over, so there's all these smear campaigns going against businesses. Well, we wanted to anti-smear it. So this time instead, I said, okay, when we go outside, in store, everything we respected social distancing. We had 2 security guards on duty helping out. We had the property was fenced off. We had tents outdoors to prove that social distancing, that we could still have a nice protest and an event. We brought hacksacks, we had frisbee, and we had a medicine ball. So we had groups of 4. So I put everybody in groups outside. We were all distance separated, and we were doing exercising, right? Just to show them that we could do a little bit better than that. Mm-hmm. And the amount of food we got from the food drive, we got over $500 just in that day. And we got, a pile of food. It's getting ridiculous. We have to actually find some. We got to get back to Sudbury food shortly enough. But that was all in inspiration for everything we've gone through, where we're trying to head.
Yeah. So now we decided actually, because so what we did to entice people to donate, right? Like I've been telling everybody, all of these non-for-profit organizations have been closed for so long. And that's where the money for a lot of the money for the food banks is coming from, is these non-for-profits. So where is this money coming from? So, like we're going to be doing at the end of every month, I'm going to roll some joints and we're going to give out joints to anybody that comes and donates. I do pickups, like I actually picked up in Hanmer, I picked up in Chelmsford. So we're going to do that on the last week of every month now, just to start getting our community getting back together. We have to start, being humans again. We're not made to sit in our homes and struggle alone and get depressed. It's just not right.
Well, and I want people to respect the police again.
Yes, absolutely.
I worry about the impact that the
next generation police will have on them.
Well, yeah, you think about the effect that this is having on your kids. It's teaching your kids to fear the police instead of go to the police when there's a problem.
Exactly. And that's honestly, Sheila, that's one of the things I told our kids. I said, look, I know right now, even on our post there where we captured where the officers are giving tickets at that protest, one of the mothers that was there with her 2 children was getting ticketed, and I actually have it on video.
Unbelievable. Her mother is a criminal now. That's unbelievable. You stand up for your children. Thank you. Thank you for standing up for your children.
She was so strong, but the kids were scared. And, kids need to know that the police are there to help them. So why are you making why are they making their mother or their father a criminal right in front of everybody? For what? For speaking, for our right to speak. We have a right to speak. And I just, I feel like it's really getting out of hand. A lot of people, the fearmongering has it's getting intensified every day. Every day, people are scared. We get people messaging us daily, wanting to come to our protests, and they're too scared.
A lot of businesses reaching out constantly, from restaurants to gyms. Like we mentioned, Daphne mentioned Sheer Magic. You guys are now representing them, which is awesome. But she was scared too, even reaching out to Rebel News, or just fear of being just seeing the attacks that we had gotten just online, right? But seeing it, we've gotten way more positive than negative.
We've gotten lots of negative.
If it wasn't for us fighting these tickets and us standing up for ourselves, we would have lost both stores, and we'd be in a much tougher position than we are right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, and it's sad because if places like Mr. Green's disappears, then all the things that you've given back to the community also disappear too. And that's what people don't realize. They just see businesses, but they don't understand that each one of those businesses is a family with a dream, but those families also give back, and you're community builders.
Yeah.
We've sponsored, we actually sponsored a soccer team before, and we want to get back to that.
We even sponsored the fingerprinting for the RCMP. So Mr. Greens, there's a little Mr. Greens at the bottom corner for our kids' classrooms, because you can sponsor your own classrooms for your children, right? So we want to show support with the RCMP. But we've had an ad in the RCMP retirement book, the retirement magazine for the police. So it's not like we're trying to fit in every part that we can to show that discrimination in our industry is also gone, right?
And the police did swear an oath when they became police officers, and I think that's one of the things we need to remind them of constantly.
Well, actually, I'd like to throw them a little thumbs up, because they're actually in court today, Supreme Court at 4:30. I believe stand on guard for the So that's a couple retired officers and some on-duty officers as well. So hopefully we see changes, and that's a lot of courage. That's very courageous for them. I'm very proud.
Guys, how can people support and patronize your business? Because you do give back to the community. You are staying open in spite of these very serious threats of some pretty hefty fines. I'm sure people, we've got viewers from all across the country. How do people get in touch with you? If they want to buy what you're selling, how do they do that?
So checking out Mr. Green's, www.mrgreensnovelties.com. We have everything you're looking for, pretty much. Regreening Sudbury one person at a time. So we do have our slogan. We're online, our Facebook group as well. We have Mr. and Mrs. Green's fan club, which we allow anybody to voice anything they want and share your experiences with us, or share anything pretty much you want. And also our page is been a main point of our focus because we've getting so much positivity on our page itself. And if someone joins our page, at least we're not expecting them to join it and to bash us or do any kind of negative online either. So.
Well, guys, that's great. I know that this is the middle of a work day and you guys are risking a big fine to stay open. So I won't take up too much more of your time, but I just wanted to thank you guys for being so brave, being such, strong advocates for the business community and your community in general. And I'm very proud that we're helping you fight those tickets through fightthefines.com. And I'm very grateful to everybody who's donated to help offset the cost of your legal fees as well.
Oh yeah, it's really turned around. Our 80% losses has turned into a complete turnaround. We're probably at 120% profit increase.
Right.
So
I think it's an absolute disgrace that mom and pop shops who pride themselves on one-on-one good customer service, old-fashioned customer service, like Daphne and Shawn's place, Mr. Green's Novelties, are being absolutely obliterated by Doug Ford's lockdown, while big businesses, big retailers, well, they're all essential. And even if those big businesses have large-scale COVID outbreaks, they don't have to close because they're essential. It's so unfair and so unscientific, and that's why I'm very proud that we're helping Daphne and Shawn through fightthefines.com. But we're not just helping Daphne and Shawn. We are helping about 1,000 other people and small businesses too. We've basically created a civil liberties foundation from the ground up to help average Joe and Jane Canadians fight for normalcy during the pandemic because nobody else is. If you'd like to help us fight for civil liberties, one Canadian lockdown ticket at a time, please donate today at fightthefines.com. And now, all Fight the Fines donations qualify for a charitable tax receipt through a registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you'd like to help us fight for civil liberties one Canadian at a time, please donate today at fightthefines.com. And your Fight the Fines donation now qualifies for a charitable tax receipt through the Democracy Fund.